Have you ever been in a position where you doubt yourself and you start to feel like a fake, a phony, or a fraud, knowing that there are lots of other people out in the world who might be able to do a better job than you, even though you have a ton of experience and expertise? If so, you're probably facing imposter syndrome. In this video, we'll talk about what imposter syndrome is, and we'll go over the 5 different types of imposter syndrome. Hi, my name is Dr. Dan Kreines. I'm the host of the Leader of Learning podcast, where I provide inspiration for growth and transformation in education and beyond. On this YouTube channel, you'll find inspirational instructional leadership videos, as well as some EdTech tutorials. If you like this video or any of the content that I share here on the YouTube channel, please consider subscribing and liking and commenting so that you are notified of all of the content that I put out. Here in this video, I'd like to go through what imposter syndrome is and the 5 different types of it so you can recognize imposter syndrome when you see it or you sense it, and you might be able to identify yourself with any one of these 5 imposter syndrome types. We'll start with type number 1. The first type of imposter syndrome is known as the perfectionist. Perfectionists set excessively high goals for themselves. And when they fail to reach a goal, they experience major self doubt and worry that they're not going to be able to measure up. Whether they realize it or not, this group also tends to be control freaks, feeling like if they want something done right, they have to do it for themselves. Imposter syndrome type number 2 is Superman or Superwoman. People who experience this type of imposter syndrome are convinced they're phonies amongst real deal colleagues or acquaintances. They often push themselves to work harder and harder to measure up. But this is just a false cover up for their insecurities, and the work overload may not only harm their own mental health, but also their relationship with others. The third type of imposter syndrome is also known as the natural genius. People with this type believe they need to be a natural genius. They judge their competence based on ease and speed as opposed to effort. In other words, if they take a long time to master something, they feel shame. They don't just judge themselves based on ridiculous expectations, but they also judge themselves based on getting things right on the first try. When they're not able to do something quickly or fluently, they feel like a failure. The fourth type of imposter syndrome is known as the soloist. This type of imposter syndrome features people who feel as though asking for help reveals their phoniness. It's okay to be independent, but not to the point at which you refuse assistance so that you can prove your worth. And the fifth type of imposter syndrome is known as the expert. Experts measure their competence based on what and how much they know or can do. They believe that they will never know enough, and so they fear being exposed as inexperienced or unknowledgeable. So those are the 5 types of imposter syndrome. And I'm guessing that if you're watching this video right now and looking for more information about imposter syndrome and these types of imposter syndrome, you've probably faced it or you're facing it right now. And just like me, it's something that you really need to know how to deal with. So first off, please go ahead and comment down below when you felt imposter syndrome or in what situations. And better yet, in your comment, please mention which of these 5 types of imposter syndrome you feel like you identify with the most. I'll admit that I suffer from imposter syndrome all the time. As a matter of fact, it's why I've had to record and re-record this video probably about a dozen times. Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And if you like this video, you will definitely want to check out the other video that I've made on how to combat imposter syndrome. In other words, what are the ways that you can deal with imposter syndrome when you face it? Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.